Hey everybody, got a little project I want to show you guys. This is a liner change I did on a black Calfskin Canterbury, and this Calfskin is just awesome. But they come in this little box. You see Canterbury King James Version black Calfskin from Schuyler. Let's out to the Schuyler Bibles. This is the Bible right here. And it came like this, and I want to kind of compare. This is my Canterbury, my brown Canterbury. So this is how it came with this paper paste down. See how stiff it is. It doesn't really want to lay flat because of how it's bound. You can see the wrinkles in the head and tail band. That's pretty similar. I had to fix a wrinkle. In this one as well, but that's pretty common. But this Calfskin is just primo. It's awesome. I love it. You can see the smaller ribbons. Okay, so we put three 10mm ribbons to replace. Like this black one came with three navy blue of these smaller ribbons. I think these larger ribbons are more proportional. This is a larger Bible. This is like over 9 inches long, over 6 inches wide, and about 1.5 inches thick. So it's a good sized Bible. So let me show you the liner, the difference. Okay, so like I said, it came like this with a black. This one had a black paper paste down, and now it has this black goat skin. You see how it wants to lay? I mean, it wants to lay flat. It wants to open up. You see how flexible it is? It's just it feels great. I mean, it feels excellent. You can see the pros that these Calfskin editions already come with a perimeter stitching, which is really nice. And there's a couple other features. Now this one's going to be edge lined to the block now, so it's going to be much stronger. So let me hold it up so you can see. It's just strong. You can see that flexing with my hand. I mean, it's just really strong. Where I wouldn't really want to do that. This one will probably do that, but the weakest point is right in here. This is just paper. So if I pick that up, slung it around, and you can see the pressing through the paper. I mean, it's not as attractive. You see they have some reinforcement that runs up onto the block as kind of a reverse edge lining. It comes from the block onto the cover instead of from the cover onto the block. But it's still that's just mesh. It's not leather. It's not going to be strong. That's the point of weakness for the Bible, where this is going to have some strength. This is all leather that runs up. It has this, like I said, this really cool grain goat skin. So you have this different texture of Calfskin, a different texture of goat skin. You have this textured cardstock that has just a really neat texture to it. And then you have your black leatherette end sheet. So it's a variety of textures. It's really nice though. They complement each other really well. Like I said, we changed the ribbons, so it had some nice gold ribbons. He said that this is going to be like a Pittsburgh Steelers Bible. So he liked the black and gold theme. Gold ribbons, gold gilding with the black on black liner and end sheets. So it's just really a cool Bible. Really a cool Bible. So I kind of wanted to show the difference between the without anything done to it. You can see that these have a break-in period. You see where it has this seam that breaks in right there? When you open the Bible, you see how it does that? That's pretty typical for a paste-down Bible because the liner and all is not glued together all the way. So I went ahead and added that to this Bible. You can see that seam that I went ahead and tooled in. So when you open it, it is a functional hinge, and it reduces that break-in time. Where this one, it took opening and closing it a lot for it to develop the little bit of indentation it has, and the more it breaks in, the more that hinge will form. So going ahead and putting that hinge in, it just really decreases that break-in time significantly. And I did the same for the back as well. So, and it gives it a nice look to it like it's already been broken in. So anyway, it's just a much improved addition. I also have my Credo back here, the goat skin, to kind of show you in comparison. The floppiness is very similar. The calfskin's a little thicker than the goat skin, so it's still going to be a little stiffer than this goat skin, but it has a similar flow. Where this one is just stiff. It does not want to bend. This one doesn't mind it, and this one's a little more flexible just because it's a thinner cover altogether. But they're similar in size, and I just kind of want to show those side by side. But anyway, this is a much improved edition. I want to show you the hand test to kind of show you the flexibility of the edition as a whole. So you can see it's pretty floppy, and I'm going to show you the comparison with the one without the. You see how it's not. It doesn't want to fold down. Now it does a little bit because this block's so heavy, but you can see it's a big difference in how floppy this edition is. Okay, and another benefit, whenever I do a liner change, I normally install what's called an Oxford tube. Well, it's a big benefit because Schuyler already installs an Oxford tube, so I was able to reuse the Oxford tube. Now, an Oxford tube, especially the Oxford tube that Schuyler uses, is a cloth tube. Okay, so there's a cloth tube between the block and the cover, which allows me to glue everything solid. Everything's solidly glued. There's no blank area that's not glued. Everything's glued together, but the tube allows there to be an opening all the way down it, so that the cover can flex and the block can flex at the same time, without worrying about it losing strength or coming undone. So anyway, I just wanted to show you this black calfskin liner change, as well as comparison with the brown calfskin that is stock and the goatskin Credo. Kind of the differences in how it changes the floppiness and the durability. So anyway, there are a couple of things. Zach, I notified Zach. He's a great guy, and but I didn't want him to feel like I was sending him back bad work. I did send him a partial refund for the work done here. Because, and I'll go ahead and show everyone here, I'm not trying to hide anything. You see how this liner, where I cut this to make the tab, it should have come all the way to the block so that you wouldn't see that little gap there. And I measured this liner prior and cut it prior to installing it, thinking I had my measurements perfect. Come to find that I had not had them perfect. So there's a little gap all the way on all four of the places where it's cut. There's a little gap because I mismeasured. So I sent Zach a $10 refund. I just didn't feel right him paying full price and it being subpar work. It's not going to affect the integrity of the binding. It's still going to be just as strong. It's just you're going to see that gap. And I just didn't feel right taking full price for that work. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that. Also, whenever you pull the paper liner, you can also see this is stock, and it has a little waviness to the cover. But when you pull the paper liner off, that's the backbone of this calfskin. So if there was any natural wave in this calfskin, when you pull that paper liner off, it comes back. So this is the natural wave of this calfskin. When I put the leather liner on tried to correct the wave by tightening up some spots, and it's just really hard to do. For instance, this end was lifted up a little bit. That's why I pulled this liner, extends down just a smidge further than this section, so it would try to pull that end back down. I tried to do that all the way around, and I got it pretty flat, but it's not perfectly flat. That's not uncommon. So that's if you're getting a liner change, just know that it might not. Whenever you pull that paper liner off, the natural flow of the leather typically comes back, and unless you're willing to put in a lot of work to flatten it, it takes a little more time than most people realize. Now the back, it worked out perfect. You see how flat the back is. There's a little wave right here. It's not bad, but it's pretty much flat. The liner came off flush. There was no real wave in the leather. Put the new liner on, and it stayed flat. So it's not always the same every time. You can fix this by putting like a cutting block, something smooth with no kind of indentions on it, putting it on a smooth table like this, putting a smooth cutting block or something on top of it, and then just stack some books on top of it and let it sit for a few days. That'll typically kind of press this down without damaging the grain. You don't want to put too much weight, and you don't want to damage the cross or the grain, but it'll press that leather down enough, and if you do it for a longer period of time, it'll usually straighten out a lot of these waves. So I just don't have the time to do that here, and I know Zach won't mind doing that himself. But this is pretty typical of a liner change. Do pit minion liner changes and stuff like that. You're going to see a little bit of change in the cover will have just a slight wave sometimes. Sometimes it won't. It just depends on that cut of leather. Anyway, this video is running a little longer than I had anticipated, but I feel like that's a lot of useful information for you guys if you're looking at doing liner changes or having a Bible done. You just need to kind of know those things. But it makes this Bible, especially, there's a lot of people that actually prefer the calfskin to the feel of the goat skin. And I don't really blame them. It's softer. It's thicker. It makes for a thicker cover. I understand why a lot of people love this calfskin. So having it edge lined with a leather liner, the flexibility that it adds, it just changes. It just really makes it a whole nother Bible. So anyway, that's the Schuyler Canterbury in black calfskin liner change. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. And thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Cool stuff like this is to come. I have 5 or 6 Bible reviews that I have to get in. Sometime they're already here. I'm looking over them, and I just don't want to shortchange the publishers. So there will be more Bible reviews coming this month, and it's just going to be a good month, a good whole fall and winter for Bible reviews and rebinds and stuff. So be sure you're subscribing and share with me kind of your opinions. Please leave them in the comment section, and I'd love to talk with you guys if you have any questions. So thank you guys again for watching. God bless.